morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how to style, and now natural hair care and hair care topics. If you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So it is 2024. And in 2024, I want to make sure that I am being very intentional when it comes to my wardrobe. I want to be very intentional when it comes to the pieces that I am purchasing. And I want to hone in even more on my personal style because I did see it change a little bit. I would probably say halfway through 2023. And there are definitely some things in my closet that I'm gravitating towards. And although there are other pieces in my closet that I absolutely love, I didn't necessarily reach for them, okay? And a lot of you guys have been asking me about personal style. So I do want to introduce this style series. We are going to hone in and find our personal style in 2024. So I think this is going to be about a 6 to 7 mini series or a 6 to 7 part video series. So this very first episode, the very first two are going to be about things that we do and do not need in our closet, right? We are decluttering first. We are going to start with a clean slate and then we will get into that. So today's video, we are going to talk about 10 items that you do not need in your closet or 10 items that you will always regret buying. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so number one, something that you do not need in your closet is something that does not fit. And I have spoken about this time and time again. I am talking about any garment that is too small or too tight. Anything that has holes in it, anything that has stains. And when it comes to those two, if you are not willing to attend to those or if you're not willing to have the stains removed, it's time for you to get rid of it. Now, as a woman who has pretty much been the same size, I do not have fluctuating weight. I've been skinny my entire life. I'm saying that because there are women out there, and you might be watching this video, who are saying, well, no, I'm waiting to lose weight. I'm waiting to gain weight. I'm waiting for this to fit. That's fine. If you absolutely love the item, if you cannot part with it, what I would suggest to you is just to get a bin, place it in the bin, and then put it in storage or put it in your closet. The first reason is that, again, we are decluttering. We want to be intentional with our style in 2024. It's taking up space. And the third reason is really for, I guess you could say, your mental health or for your mentality. If you continuously walk into your closet and you have a closet full of clothes that either are too big, and especially for women who are dealing with the fluctuating weight, if you consistently walk into your closet and all of your clothing is too tight, you will become discouraged and you will get this frustrating feeling and you will hate getting dressed. Getting dressed is supposed to be actually one of the funnest parts of your day, okay? So if it has stains, if it has rips, if it's too big, if it's too small, we are getting rid of it. Number two is fantasy self. And I believe I spoke on this in a previous video. I believe it was in my tips video of how to dress better right now. I will link that down below. But a lot of women and men too, but a lot of people focus on their fantasy self and it displays itself in different areas of our life. But remember, we are talking about our wardrobe. We are talking about our style. Basically, what fantasy self is the image that you have of yourself, whether you have arrived there or not, and the image that you want others to have of you or how others perceive you. I will give you the perfect example. You are a stay-at-home mom. You have 3 children. One has ballet, the other one does archery, and the other one has soccer, which means basically your afternoons are taken up, and then on weekends, you're going to be going to concerts, ballet recitals, you're going to be going to soccer games. That is your life. Why do you have sequins and metallics and feathers and all of this over-the-top stuff in your closet when that is not your life? Your closet should represent where you are in your life. So I would probably say when it comes to fantasy stuff, I would probably say 90-10, or I would even say 95-5, as opposed to like someone who is a socialite. They are going to have the sequins, the boas, the metallics, the red bottoms, the makeup, the glam. Not saying that a soccer mom doesn't do those things, but a soccer mom, more than likely, her weekend is not going to be filled with going to a gala or going to the red carpet or even a black tie affair. Not every single weekend, not every single day, okay? Not saying that you shouldn't buy that sequin dress for an outing or for an event. That's not what I'm saying. People have a tendency to buy things because they love the way that it looks, or they see it online, they see it on an influencer, or they might buy a bag that has sequins on it, or they might buy, a pair of lime green boots. As a soccer mom, those lime green boots are not going to serve you. So when we're thinking of ourselves, when we're thinking of our fantasy self, there's nothing wrong with that, but we want to make sure that when we are honing in on our style for 2024, we want to make sure that we are being honest with ourselves. We want to make sure that we are putting things and buying pieces and adding to our wardrobe of things that we are actually going to wear and that represent our life. I will give you the perfect example. You guys know, well, you might not know, but you guys know that I used to contract myself out for work. I used to be in an office setting, which called for business casual. At that point in time in my life, my closet was full of pencil skirts. I mean, it still is, but pencil skirts, more so on the non-colorful side. Pencil skirts, blazers, I'm not going to say chinos, but I guess you could say chino material skirts. Very business casual, sweater sets, pearls, heels, top handles. It was very work oriented. Now that I am no longer on contracts, I can do a remote contract. I can basically dress how I want. I have always been someone who loves to dress up. A fantasy item for me, even though I love getting dressed up, at this point in my life, a fantasy item for me would be a lime green gown with feathers all over it. There is nowhere in my life that I am going to be able to wear that. Do I like getting dressed up? Yes. Will I dress to the nines to go to a cookout? Yes. Will I dress to the nines to go to brunch? Yes. Will I dress to the nines to go to the ballet? Yes. But that dress that I just described does not fit any of those occasions, and it's not appropriate. Next item that you do not need in your closet is a scratchy clothing. Now, I will say that this is relative. What is scratchy to me might not be scratchy to you. What I will say is that a lot of people find that more so synthetic fibers or synthetic pieces are scratchy. So I would say to you, stick with your cotton, stick with your cashmere, stick with your mohair, stick with your wools. Although there are some people who do find mohair to be very scratchy, and there are some people who do find wool to be scratchy. But when I mean scratchy clothing, the reason why is because you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to walk into your closet, you're going to see that scratchy sweater, and you're going to remember how it made you feel when you put it on, and it's just going to sit in your closet. And depending on where you bought it from, number one, you are not getting your cost per wear, and number two, you may have paid a lot for it, okay? So you do not need scratchy clothing in your closet. What I will say, what a lot of people will do is they will put on what you call a shell. Basically what that is some people might refer to it as like an undershirt or even a long johns, right? But basically you put on the shell and then you put on the sweater. For some people it works, for some people it does not, because then you have a situation where you might have a scratchy turtleneck. So from right here down, it's not scratchy, but then you're scratching your neck, okay? So just, I guess you could say, figure out your tolerance for scratchy clothing and abide by that. Which is going to bring me to my next one, which is number 4, fussy clothing. I don't know about y'all, but one of my pet peeves is to pick out a piece, look absolutely beautiful, look absolutely stunning, and I'm out and about and I'm fidgeting with my clothes. That is a pet peeve to me. Number one, it makes me uncomfortable. And then number two, you probably look uncomfortable to an onlooker, right? It's just a very uncomfortable feeling to always have to stand your collar up, to always have to pull this down, to always have to pull this down. And I know a lot of women, especially when it comes to summertime, our shorts, they can be a little short, or our mini skirts, always having to pull them down or always having to adjust, okay? We do not need fussy clothing in our closet, you guys. It makes you look uncomfortable and it makes other people think you are uncomfortable. Number 5, which is something that I have never really understood. I get it. I'm a shoe girl myself, but shoes that are uncomfortable, do not fit, or hurt, or shoes that basically make you walk like a horse. Shoes that are uncomfortable are just silly to me. I get it. We all love shoes. We all have that one pair of shoes. We all have that statement shoe. Now, I will say this. I do have a couple of pair of shoes that are shoes that I cannot wear for a long period of time, or shoes that I call from car to table, back from car to table. Those shoes are sit and be pretty shoes. They are not shoes that I am going to be walking downtown Charlotte in. They are not shoes that I'm going to be running errands in. So yes, I am contradicting myself. But what I am saying is that your everyday shoes, your capsule wardrobe shoes, your main shoes should not be uncomfortable. I would probably say that percentage should be like a good maybe 90-10 or 95-5. Your main shoes should not be uncomfortable. The first thing that I do when I buy a pair of shoes, or the first thing that I recognize or observe when I am in the store, not e-commerce, which you're not able to try them on. They will have to come to your house and you will have to try them on. But one of the first things that I figure out in the store right there and then is if the shoe is uncomfortable. If the shoe is unbearable in the store, the chances of you taking them home and them magically being comfortable is slim to none. Now, there are some shoes that you might have to break in because they are leather, because they are tightly bound, or they just have a lot of structure to them. What I will say to you about that is take like a good thick pair of your socks, kind of walk around the house, kind of loosen them up a little bit, and you can even take, without drying them out, so you don't want it to be directly on the shoe, hold it back a little bit, but take a blow dryer and just kind of like go over. I know a lot of people have issues with toe boxes, very tight toe boxes, and just kind of go over the toe box. I would probably say give it a couple of days. If they are still uncomfortable, if they are unbearable, send them back. The third one for when you are doing e-commerce or when you are shopping online, pay attention to where you are shopping. There are some stores that actually offer your regular, your wide, and your narrow. If you know that you have a large flat foot, don't buy narrow shoes, okay? But those are just a couple of tips. But let's stop this what is it? Pain is beauty, or beauty is pain. Let's stop with that notion and let's actually start wearing shoes that are comfortable. Number 6, and this probably needs a video by itself, but number 6, sale items. Buying things just because they are on a sale. And I am getting ready to contradict myself in this statement as well. Really, not really. So here's what I will say about sale items, because I have done it myself. You guys know that some of my best pieces, some of my most gorgeous pieces that I love, I've gotten on sale. This is what I would say about sales. Just because something is on sale does not mean you need to buy it. You can have a love for something, you can appreciate something. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to buy it. The second thing is that if you are going to buy something on sale, you need to make sure that it fits in your closet, that it's going to fit in your wardrobe, and that you're actually going to be able to wear it in your real life, right? You especially do not want to buy fantasy self things on sale. You will regret it even more. And what I mean by that is, I will give you the perfect example. The Ula Johnson tunic that I had turned into a skirt by my tailor. I would probably say I stocked that piece for a good 6 months, and then it went out of stock. And then come time for Moda Operandi's annual sale, I got it for 50% off. That is something that will probably be in my closet for a very long time. It is a statement piece. It is a unique piece. It is a conversation starter. I get compliments every single time I leave the house in it. I did get it on sale, but it was something that I loved, something that I could not stop thinking about, and something that, although it was a statement piece, something that would fit seamlessly into my closet, okay? So there's nothing wrong with sales. Just make sure that when you are browsing the sales section, whether it be in a brick and mortar store or whether it be online, just make sure that it ticks your boxes. Do you love it? Have you been thinking about it? Do you wake up thinking about it? Does it fit into your closet? And is it your real life or is it your fantasy self? That should help you determine whether or not that sale item is something that you really need to buy. So the next item or items that you do not need in your closet, or that you do not need a lot of, are synthetic fibers. And we all know what I'm talking about, the polyesters. When we're talking about natural fibers, you have wool, you have linen, and you have cotton. And I want to kind of give you an example. So I have begun to notice that depending on what my blouse or what my top is made of, that my temperature is regulated better. So I bought this sweater from Banana Republic Factory, and yesterday I noticed that when I was wearing this, that I was just hot. Whether I was sitting down here, whether I was sitting in the car, whether I was outside, or whether I was sitting in the movie room. It just felt like that, which can be a good thing, but I just felt hot and I felt like I could not get my temperature regulated. So then I looked at the label. This sweater is 100% polyester. There is no blend, there is no cotton, there is no wool, there is no spandex, nothing. This is 100% polyester, as opposed to this Aritzia turtleneck. This is 100% wool. Now, I feel like my temperature was actually regulated more in this, and I felt warmer and I was able to be warm, but I didn't feel, I guess you could say, a smother, or that I could start sweating at a drop of a dime. I have self-diagnosed myself with hyperhidrosis, and I've noticed that when it comes to synthetic fibers, especially with my blouses and especially with my tops, the more natural fiber that I have when it comes to my top, the better regulated my temperature is, or even with a blend. The top that I just showed you, or the one from Banana Republic, I was so hot yesterday that I actually began to sweat. Now, mind you, this is the Carolinas and it is winter, but I should not have been sweating like that. I am naturally a cold person, but I have realized, or I have noticed, and maybe I just need to maybe I need to just kind of start like a diary and notice like, hey, what top am I wearing? And again, this is all going into honing in on your style. We always want to make sure that we look good, but we also want to make sure that we are comfortable in the clothes that we are in. So maybe what I might start doing is I might actually just start doing a diary of what top I'm wearing that day. And then I would just kind of look at the tag and note what the fabric is. Because in that Banana Republic 100% polyester turtleneck, I was so hot and I could not get comfortable. I could not get situated. I was waiting for Aiden to get out of school and I turned the air on. This top half was cool and then this bottom half was hot. This side was cool because the air was flowing here. I had this air vent turned off and then this side was hot. And then right in the front it was hot because of the sun was beaming down. So I have noticed that with synthetic fibers, depending on what the blend is, depending on what I'm wearing, I am beginning to notice that my temperature, I cannot regulate my temperature, or I cannot get comfortable. Next items or pieces that you do not need in your closet are going to be notice my emphasis on all trendy items. I would probably say trendy, I would probably say you need to be doing 90-10. I would probably even say for some people it could be an 80-20. A majority of your closet does not need to be full of trends. There is nothing wrong with trends, but trends come and go. Trends begin to cost people money. I will give you the perfect example. Last year was the ballet flat. This year is the ballet flat. And let's actually break that trend down when it comes to ballet flats. In 2023, it was basically a ballet flat. We all remember the Miu Miu craze. Now here in 2024, it's moving away from the actual ballet flat itself, and now it's going to be ballet flat inspired. If you spent that $950 on those actual Miu Miu ballet flats and you want to stay on trend, and now you're moving into 2024 and the trend is not the actual ballet flat, but it's going to be an inspiration, you're going to have to spend more money to be on trend. So there is nothing wrong with trends, but it should be more classic pieces. I won't say classic pieces, but it should be more pieces that speak to your aesthetic. That way, if you have a 90-10 or if you have an 80-20 situation, you can take those trends, implement them in your closet, and then you can switch them out when it comes to your aesthetic or when it comes to your classic pieces. Right now, as I said, the ballet flat is very on trend. A pair of trousers or a pair of jeans, while certain types or certain iterations of those come and go, a classic pair of blue jeans with a ballet flat. The ballet flat is trendy, the jean is classic, and then next year when the thong sandal comes in, you have that staple piece. You can either go the high, the mid, or the low route when it comes to the sandal, which is the trendy piece, but you will always have that foundation. You will always have those jeans. And the other reason why I say that your entire closet should not be trendy is because you will notice that trends don't necessarily go together, or they might not necessarily be cohesive. Right now, what's really popular are metallics. Let's say you are wearing a metallic mini skirt, and then let's say right now the actual ballet flat is on trend. And then so we also have cutouts. You're going to look mighty crazy wearing ballet flats, a cutout top, and a micro mini metallic skirt. The next one that you do not need in your closet are going to be ill-fitting undergarments. I will tell you right now, I have never worn shapewear, so I cannot speak on that. But as far as your bras and as far as your underwear, we are in 2024. We have, I believe it's Shaper Mint. We have another one, I think it's called Honey. We have all of these advances with technology that we should not see your bra lines, and we most certainly should not see your panty lines. The last and 10th item that you do not need in your closet is going to be the 3-wear rule. I've spoken about this before. So let's take a scenario. You and your girlfriends are out, you just had brunch, and you walk into a store to do a little bit of shopping. You find the world's most gorgeous top, you go into the fitting room and it fits, you say it's coming with you. I want you to stop and think for a second, right then and there. Before you put your top on, before you walk over to the register, and before you purchase that, I want you to think right there and then. Take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. If you cannot think of 3 different ways to wear that top, if you cannot think of 3 different outfits with that top right then and there, I would suggest to you to leave the top there. Why? It is going to continue to sit in your closet, and it is going to take up space. It is going to take up real estate. You are never going to wear it. And again, a lot of times when people are picking out these gorgeous pieces, these ornate pieces, or pieces that they don't typically go for, but they love, again, they are shopping with their fantasy self, right? As I explained to you, that bright green feather beaded dress. That is my fantasy self. I have nowhere to wear that to. On the flip side to that, or if you already have something in your closet, because remember, we are decluttering and we are purging and we are getting rid of things that do not serve us. If there is something in your closet, before you throw it out, especially if you absolutely love it, before you throw it out, walk into your closet, pick that piece up. Give yourself, I would say, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Find 3 outfits or find 3 ways for you to wear that item. If you cannot, if you are struggling to put together an outfit with that item, I would suggest to you to either put it away, although you might not want to, I would suggest to you to give it away. It's the exact same thing with the piece that you bought in the store. And as a matter of fact, it's even more evident with this piece because it has been sitting in your closet, right? So that is the 3-wear rule. Okay, so that is going to round out the first episode of this style series. We are going to be finding our personal style in 2024. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Let me know in the comments if you do have any of these things in your closet. Also, let me know in the comments how you want to change your personal style. I just want to remind you, here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. I will see y'all later. Bye.
We always have it coming.